Hi, it's Michelle Turner. Welcome to day 7. I'm going to do something a little bit advanced, but it's something you've been doing hopefully since you were a baby. It's a very important milestone developmentally for infants, and I don't think people really realize the significance. And this is where I've really come to terms with and have tried to articulate that human acceleration or movement comes from the opposition of two forces. So as I push my feet into the ground, let's say, and go this way, I mean, I'm opposing two forces, therefore that stored kinetic energy kicks in with my muscle mass and propels me. This comes from just even touching breast tissue is really the significance means that child will stand. When they don't and they just lay like this, it's not a good sign, because if they don't oppose it here, they're not going to oppose it in standing. So it's just again, it's a functional developmental movement pattern that needs to happen to progress. So a lot of people feel if you change the muscles or the reflexes, you get that, but you really have to change the system mechanics or enhance them. So another big one is when babies grab their feet. Now, I get it. You might be thinking, oh, I can't grab my feet. The distance between here and here is too great. So I'm going to show you how to do it with bands. So it's very difficult, again, to wrap your feet around the bands, let's say. Now, no offense, I can grab my feet. That's not an issue. But we're going to do it playing with bands. So just like in knitting, the nicest way to do it is I'm going to have you loop into it. So just like in knitting, you just create a little hole and that goes around your foot. Right? Same thing. Now that I have here, now you can do it this way as well, but I like the knitting one. So you just bring it in here, around, so you get the other feet. Sorry. So now I've got a little pulley system. Going back down, see how nice you can roll to get up and down. This is what we're going after. So as always with elastics, you judge of how you want to work with your tightness. So here, just get used to this position. And as you can see, what I'm doing here is one of the key things that a little baby does. It's just lightly lifting their bum. Now, no offense, same thing. If you get a little tired, just put your legs down. Take a rest. A lot of you aren't even used to having your feet elevated like that. And again, if that's even an issue, you can just loosen them up and just be here and start working for lifting your bum up. But again, I'll be doing a whole 30 days of bedridden. I'll be doing a whole 30 days of just sitting in the chair. Right now, this is more for going into just a nice, healthy, functioning level. And at a healthy, functioning level, you should be able to just lift your feet over your head. So again, it looks like a kind of rocking, but I'm just feeling what it's like to just lightly lift my bum off the table. And once you can feel that sensation, because you're not like this going, that's muscle base. I'm not looking for kicking. I'm looking for these bands to enhance. So now, as you know, I'll bring in my rotation. So just lightly, you can see my right foot is coming further than my left. So I'm kind of leaving my left alone. And as usual, you want to do this 10-15 times. Don't let the blood leave your feet again. Rest as you want to. This shouldn't cause you any pain. You should start to feel actually that in a sense you're relaxing more, your knees drop down. And now I'm going to rotate the left side. But again, you should just be feeling rotation. If you notice, I'm not, my thighs, anything, I'm not going into spasticity, contractions, I'm not losing my breath. See, I can continue talking to you. And again, rest when you need to. If you don't, that's fine. So now, oops, my band's coming undone. I'm going to go into the air. And this is where, again, more of that opposition happens. So instead of just pressing my right foot up, which you can do to get used to, I'm going to rotate and come back down. I just want you to get used to a more synchronized rotation of the foot to your butt. Again, a good, let's say 15 times. Once you get used to this is actually a really nice lesson. You wouldn't believe what it's about to do to your lower back as far as, quote, loosening it up. You can see, on my left side, I have a little bit of a shake. So I'm already going, something I need to work on. So I have to work on it. I'm going to go right here. And just see where I can coordinate that movement more. And that's a bit better. And again, just rest. I'm not going to be resting through this, obviously, because I'm doing a video. So now, I want you to start doing this and just think of your knee coming to the table. Just think. There's a lot of you. I've taught enough of you. Oh, I can do it. It's not about I can do it. I'm teaching you a whole new way of movement. I want you to get used to, but see how I'm acting or looking a bit more like a baby would. You don't know how to move like a baby. You don't know how to move like an adult. All these things were meant to happen. I don't care what country you live in, what your body looks like. Babies are babies, and then babies have to become children, and children become adults. So you will see quite quickly as if you had issues, let's say, with crawling. I had bars on my feet, so I always need to work on this area. But it's just like running a company. If you haven't been the mail clerk, you don't know how to run the company. You can build a house on dirt. Eventually that foundation will go away. There are a whole bunch of analogies I can give you. So, as you can see, I'm going for the rotation. Rest when you need to. But with this one, I want you to start going back to your individual. You will see now, as I just concentrate, let's say, on my right foot, how much more my whole body is working. Now, no offense, guys. I'm sure you've had to climb into the back of your van. I'm sure even going up and down stairs that you realize that, yeah, you're not as young as you used to be. Do you see how I'm working on the coordination of all of this? Now the concentration has just been feet going up in the air. Now I'm going to go back to pull. So now just stay here, and now your pull rotation is just think of the hand to the elbow and see and feel the difference. So you can kind of leave your feet alone. And again, if you want more tension, go closer to the foot. And same here. Do the left, do the right, good 15 times. If you're having fun with this, do it for 3 times, I don't care. And you know what? A lot of these kind of lessons you're doing here, your kids would have a ball with, because this is what they do naturally. Most typical children, you should not see them just watching TV like this. They're always, they get their legs up in the air, their feet up in the air, and we as parents always say, sit still. No, don't let them sit still. And again, now just feel the difference of all this right-left kind of thing. And look at now how much you can, play and move your tush up versus just the first time it was happening. Bring your hands closer together, or you can bring them together like this, right? And now, bringing the left elbow down. What you're going to do here is you're actually torquing that pelvis a lot more. The legs and everything, your ankles will be needing to rotate. That's what you just worked on. But see, I'm right here holding the straps, and my arms, watch me how I come down and what that's doing. You're working this whole area, your lower back, your pelvis. These are key movements. If you've fallen or gotten down the floor and you can't get up anymore, I'm telling you, it's because you can't do these movements. I'm just doing it reversed, so your brain can say, oh, let me play with these movements. If I actually made you all right now, or a lot of you, get down on that floor and do these same movements to get up again, because again, that opposition of gravity is what you're used to, you're going to be kicking and screaming. See how I go to the right? You can see how my pelvis moves, and then you want to alternate. And as you can see, my feet want to alternate. So I'm not doing this kind of this. See, it's much harder to balance and counterbalance. And that's where you'll see, too, when kids or have cerebral palsy or people with strokes, their balance and counterbalance is much more severe versus, see, the balance and counterbalance really should be through your whole body. Probably look like a speed skater upside down. Again, please rest when you need to. This might take somebody 45 minutes the first time they do it. You will be able to put your shoes on better, your pants on better, your clothes on better. You'll be able to climb up and down the stairs better. You'll be able to get in and out of the car better. This is one of probably the best lessons you can do for your body. And you're on your bed, you're not breaking a sweat. The one thing that's going to find actually more taxing is actually your thought process. Since this is a new way of movement, you're going to have to think about this one. Just get used to the movements. And now I'm going to go back to working on sitting up. Now know where you are in space. I don't want you falling off the bed or that kind of thing. And just feel what it's like to roll. Now I'm going to do it quickly. And now I want you to see how I do it slowly. Notice first of all, as just like this move, your elbow is going down, it rotates, goes down, and your feet start to separate. So I rotate, and now notice how this foot's still up in the air. I didn't collapse. Because if I collapse, now I've got to get this whole weight of my body up. But if I counter from my feet to my head, and this is a really key movement that we lose. Now I don't expect you to all go to bed tonight, stick your feet up in the air and get up. I'm working on, again, that conversation, synchronizing these kind of movements. So I'm rolling my elbow down, see how my knee goes down. And now at this point, notice, see the cantilever start to happen. My head is starting to leave, but it stays down. And I go right to my feet, rolling onto my knees. It's really that easy. So I'm going to move the camera so you can see where my feet are going. So I'm here. Again, look at your tension, rolling my elbow down, and I'm going right to my feet. If you're again worried where you are, start off with the sitting, roll down, and roll up. And roll down. But see how my body is just getting used to this. You want to do that on the right side? I'll show you. You should be able to do it too. This is just roll to and from each side. So to the right side. You can see I didn't roll as nice. Didn't work on that side as much as I did towards. But see? And just rolling around. I don't expect you to do all of that, but I want you to see the neutrality of movement. I'm going to take the bands off, and just to show you, I probably should have asked you to try getting up out of the bed before we started and what it feels like afterwards. So if you're watching the video first, that's the first thing you can do. So now if I'm here, I'm lying down in bed, it's the same thing. I'm just going to roll to the elbow, a little bit different. Find my hand, I still look down. I use very little muscle. But if you notice, I'm not kicking. I'm not doing this and using my muscles. That might work for some. But as I always say, with either children, adults, it doesn't matter. When the mass supersedes the might, your system's starting to fail. So you never want to, I might be able to get up just fine like that, and this is great. But after surgery, as I age, if I've had blunt force trauma, I'm not going to have that kind of might to supersede my mass. And that's where people go, oh, it's so hard getting old. I'm here to help you get old at a different way. So try it out. Please don't be freaked out that you're bringing your feet over your head. You've been doing it since you were a baby. Thanks. So grab your bands and go.
The Newborn Movement Assessment Guide is available at Amazon.com and at the newbornmovementassessment.com website.
By joining this exciting community, you will learn how to help infants from the moment that they enter the world and change the lives of countless children and families. Out of necessity to help her globally delayed child, Michelle Turner, Movement Integration Specialist, created Movement Lesson to benefit children throughout the world.